Hi there, Derek here for another Questions and Answers Sunday cast. And you'll notice today I'm wearing my sunglasses, and that's because I have very sensitive eyes. And today is very sunny. And you know what they say, people with blue eyes have very sensitive eyes, and I have blue eyes. Okay, now so questions. The last question one went well. There were a few people that asked questions in the comments, and I'd like to see more questions in the comments. So if you have a question for me about myself, living in Japan, vlogging, or just my company stuff, then please leave that in the comments. I'll go through the comments, pick out some that I like to answer, and then we'll go from there. Just driving in the port right now, back from checking out some cars. Today I was looking at an S13 Silvia for the USA and an Skyline GTS R32. Okay, so I got my questions here on my new voice recorder. Last time the questions you couldn't hear them very well because they were on my iPhone. So the voice recorder, hopefully that makes things better. Let me know your feedback on how that goes in the comments. And let's begin as soon as I'm in a safe place to do so. Hopefully I can do this without looking down. That's the idea here. So, question number one, and keep in mind I have not rehearsed any of these questions, and so if I have a stupid answer, you know why. Here we go.
Commenter Rome 1017 says, I know when importing a car from the US to Canada, that same or similar model has to have been sold here as well. Is it possible to import a car newer than 15 years old, as long as the same model was sold here as well? For example, a 2004 Subaru Legacy.
Okay, the answer is no. If the car is not 15 years old, you can't send it to Canada. I'm assuming that the person is speaking about Canada there in particular. Even if the car was originally sold in Canada, sent to Japan, then sending it back is challenging, although it's possible. But you have to kind of get proof that the vehicle conforms to the North American crash standards. Even if the car is exactly 100% the same, it doesn't matter. It needs to have that label, otherwise customs is going to say no. Next question.
Commenter Lehman 001 says, can anyone go to the auctions? I was in Tokyo last year but had no idea where to go.
Okay, the auctions he's referring to is the dealer auctions that we buy from. And the answer is, unless you're a dealer, you're not allowed in. Now, these auctions are not open to the public. And if you want to go to auctions, the only way that you can is to meet up with an exporter and go to the auctions with them. I'm happy to take people to the auction if they're coming here with the intent to purchase a vehicle. Unfortunately, if it's just to be a tourist, we don't really have the time to handle that. Going to the auction is usually a very busy time, and in particular in the mornings, it's always very busy for auctions. And so, yeah, if you're gonna buy a car, I'd be happy to take you if we're not super busy, and if you're not buying a car, sorry, can't do it.
Commenter Koneko Dojo has a couple of questions. He says, did you ever export some illegal cars to the USA?
Okay, this person has 3 questions, and so I'm going to answer them one at a time. Did I ever export illegal cars to the USA? No, never. But there is something that's kind of funny. One time there was this one dealer in the USA that was trying to shame us, and so they said that we exported an illegal car to them. And what happened is somebody imported an illegal car into the US and copied the shipping documents directly from one of my shipping documents that they found in a registry online. And so anyone can go to these registries and see what cars are shipping to the USA, and he took that and he forged it. And so this person from another company was saying, oh, Derek from Pacific Coast Auto hasn't read the memo, these cars aren't legal, or he's trying to scam people. And so I contacted this person and said, sorry, this is a mistake. Here's a copy of the original shipping documents that you're referring to here. This person is just an idiot, basically, and this has nothing to do with us. And unfortunately, this importer didn't want to take down this information that I was trying to scam people, even though it wasn't the case. And, you know, this feeds into the fact that in this industry, competitors seem to all hate each other on a personal level. And this is something that drives me nuts about working in this industry. But eventually, you know, I posted that on the forum that I regular on, importera.com, if you want to check that out. And people came up or started emailing him and saying, look, Derek doesn't do anything wrong, and, you know, why are you trying to shame him? You have no proof, and Derek has shown you proof. And eventually he took it down, but it's really sad, the fact that he thinks it's okay to shame someone else when I proved it to him that we didn't do anything wrong. Anyways, going a little bit off topic there, go to the next question.
Another question, are Sylvia's R chassis, JZX 100s, and other known drift missile cars getting rare?
Okay, a drift missile car is a practice drifting car that you intend to smash up. They're usually really low-grade cars, and for that reason, they're generally cheap. They're about 200,000 to 300,000 yen. And are they getting used up? The answer is yes. And this drives up the cost of those cars. And so any car that's popular in drift has what I like to call the drift tax on it. And that means that you're paying extra for the car only because it's a popular drift car. And those chassis, even in super rough condition, are still sought after as practice cars or drift missiles.
Question number 3, what's the cheapest car you ever exported?
Okay, this is an interesting one because the cheapest car I ever exported was actually the first car I ever exported. It was a Subaru Legacy in 1994, I think, and exported that to my friend who we were going through our very first trial run for exporting the car, and I was doing this through a friend because I didn't want to do that with a customer. And I think that we bid like $500 on this car, and it was a grade 3.5 with like, I don't know, 100,000 kilometers on it. The condition of it was good, and we ended up scoring it for only 4,000 yen, which at that time was like 30 bucks. $30 Canadian. And so really lucky buy there. The car turned out to be in really good condition, and so far in you know, the 7 years we've been doing this, no other car we've bought for so cheaply, even cars that have been in bad condition. So lucky buy there. And you know, that talks about how the auction is. Sometimes the auctions are just nuts. You can get a car for super cheap, especially if it's a car not many people want. It's funny I say that because I'm driving a Legacy right now with the same twin turbo engine in it. Anyway.
Commenter Config T says, why do the auction house drivers usually hide their faces or duck down when the car goes through the picture booth? I've always found that funny.
Okay, this commenter is one that comments a lot on my regular channel and also on this channel, and so I'm really glad to see that. Thank you very much. And so why do the auction inspectors duck down? And my answer to that is, wouldn't you if you were in the car? I mean, your face is going to be plastered on every importer and exporter's website all over the internet. I don't know if it's a regulation with the auctions, but I certainly know that if I were in that car, I would hide my face. It's really funny when you see something like a Lotus 7, because those cars are open top cars with no roof, and so when you duck down, you know, there's not very much room. It looks like nobody's in the car. Okay, next question. Oh, that's going to be the end of the cast, I guess. Forgot how many I had. Okay, so that's the end of the cast there. Please send your questions to the comment section below. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. If there's something that's been really bothering you about buying a car from Japan, or about anything in Japan, even learning Japanese, then I can answer it on these casts every Sunday. Thanks a lot, and have a good one.